Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this how to play video I'm going to take a look at an archetype that performed rather nicely at the recent HET Europe Summer Playoffs and has seen some top ladder finishes as well. This archetype is Tempo Mage. Tempo Mage is an aggressive mage deck with a singular purpose: to kill the opponent. During the previous Kobolds and Catacombs era, the deck relied heavily on various secret synergies, and it still runs the two best secrets in the game, Counterspell and Explosive Runes, and a way to cheat them out for free in Tempo Mage. But overall the archetype's reliance on secrets has gone down a little bit because many of the good secret synergy cards rotated out of standard format with the Witchwood. The overall game plan of Tempo Mage is first to deal damage with minions and then gradually move over to dealing damage with spells. So even if your opponent is able to build a wall of taunts, you're still able to push in that damage because you have so many direct damage spells in the deck. There is only one 1-drop in the deck for that early minion damage, but it's one of the best 1-drops in the entire game, the Mana Worm. Combine this with a bunch of cheap spells that the deck has, and this one can really grow and deal a ton of damage. In the 2 mana slot, the deck has its classic Arcanologist, great card. Good minion, solid minion, also draws you a secret, which if you happen to have a Tempo Mage for 3, you can then play for free, so there's great synergies in this deck. Another 2 mana card that's a newcomer in the deck is the Amani Berserker. With the new standard rotation and the Witchwood, Amani Berserker has had lots of renewed interest in it from more aggressive decks. It trades very nicely into tokens and at the same time it buffs itself, so that it becomes a significant threat. Mage also has the possibility to use the hero power to buff Amani Berserker, but in practice I found that you're much more likely to just trade it into some small minion first and then go for that phase push. But in control matchups you sometimes might want to do the ping yourself as well. Finally, there is a third 2-drop in the deck, but that's not always 2-drop. It's the Sorcerer's Apprentice. But Sorcerer's Apprentice, because it makes all of your spells cheaper, you really have to think about how you use it. Especially consider what your hand is like when you use it. If you have Alunet in hand, for example, if you're planning to play Alunet in the near future, playing Sorcerer's Apprentice after Alunet can be very powerful because that enables you to use all those cards that you're gaining. Or if you have a couple of spells, then think about how could you weave in Sorcerer's Apprentice and those spells. But if your hand is very dry, then don't be afraid to just play the Sorcerer's Apprentice, because you do need some minion pressure on the board. Especially early on, because later in the game this deck will lose the board control. The only 3-drop for the deck is the Tempo Mage that I mentioned earlier. And in this build that I've been using Spellbreaker as the 4-drop of choice. Spellbreaker is good against decks that have a lot of taunts. You're going to finish them off with spells, but Spellbreaker can often let you silence a taunt and push one more round of minion damage in before the way is closed. The main alternative to Spellbreaker is Life Drinker, which is a 4-mana 3/3 that as a battlecry deals 3 damage to the opponent and heals your hero for 3. Life Drinker is good especially in aggro mirrors, and it can be a good finisher in some of the control matchups as well, so it's also a decent choice. I have simply found that because I'm running double Amani Berserker, not everyone is running 2 copies of this, then with double Amani Berserker I have so many early game minions that having that Spellbreaker seems to be worthwhile. Then the deck has that direct damage package. You have 2 Frostbolts, you have 2 Fireballs, you have Pyroblast. Very powerful direct damage spells, but you have to think about how are you going to get to your ultimate goal. Sometimes you want to throw everything to the face, sometimes you want to use your spells even to kill the opponent's minions, so that they can't kill you as fast and maybe your minions can deal a bit more damage. It all depends on how are you planning to deal just enough damage to kill the opponent, taking into account what means they have to heal themselves. The same applies especially to the damage spells that are not targetable. There's Arcane Missiles in the deck and there's Cinderstorm in the deck. For example, if you're playing against Paladin, you generally want these to kill a bunch of tokens that the Paladin player has played. But if you're playing against something like a Warlock, you would much rather play Cinderstorm on 3 on an empty board to get 5 damage to face than tickle a couple of Void Lords a little bit. The deck can also sometimes find a bit more burn, because there's 2 copies of Primordial Glyph. And well, Primordial Glyph gives, Primordial Glyph takes away. Sometimes you find the burn, sometimes you find the AoE to clear the opponent's board, sometimes you find freeze effects, then you are able to keep pushing face, and sometimes you don't find anything. If the pickings are quite slim, one of the good things that you can do with the Primordial Glyph is to pick a secret and then play it very quickly, because that makes the opponent think that this secret has got to be something important, and that might make them make suboptimal plays, even if you didn't find what you really needed from the glyph. The deck is able to draw cards with Arcane Intellect and especially with Alunet. Alunet is an incredibly powerful card. It will place a clock on you because you're going to fatigue out in a few turns, but you get so much resources that with careful planning you should generally be able to burn down the opponent if you can get Alunet down. The final card in this build is Mirror Image. I really like Mirror Image, especially against aggressive decks. But sometimes even against more control-ish decks, because Mirror Image protects your own minions in addition to protecting your face, and that means that you get to choose whether you push face, whether you do trades, all that stuff. It's a very nice card to have in this deck. The deck has a lot of core cards, but there are a few flex slots in this build. There's been some talk of nerfs going to come into Hearthstone in a month, and then we could re-evaluate the position of something like Arcane Missiles, which is really here against token decks. However, in this meta there are 4 slots that are a bit more flexible than others, and those slots in this deck are Mirror Image, the Amani Berserkers, and the Spellbreaker. You can sometimes see mirror images in these slots. You can see Blood Mage Talnos, you can see Life Drinkers, Berserkers. There's a few options on what you can use in these slots, whatever you need against the meta that you're facing. As for the mulligans with this deck, you're generally looking for your early game minions. Mana Worm, Amani Berserker, Arcanologist, Tempo Mage. Other than those, it really depends on the opponent. For example, Alunet is a huge win condition. However, Rogue and Paladin are classes that are simply too fast for you to keep Alunet. You won't get to that point, so you have to mulligan in a way against those. So what do you want to do in those matchups? Well, against Paladin you want to get rid of tokens, so you keep Arcane Missiles, you keep Cinderstorm, so that you have some of that anti-token thing going on. Against Rogue and also against Hunter, it's good to keep Mirror Image, because both classes are going to rely on minions or weapons to hit your face a lot, and Mirror Image can give you just enough time to hit them more first. And if you're playing this exact build against something like a Warlock, then you want to keep the silence effect. But if you're running like Life Drinker instead, then that's not a card that you ever keep in the mulligan. So, be aggressive, start out with minion damage, carry on with spell damage, and carefully think how much damage do you need to push face and what can you use to remove minions in order to find the balance and ensure that you get to that lethal. I prepared a bunch of gameplay material of this deck for you. Actually, the first game in this video is going to show a game where I don't think quite properly how much damage I need to put face and how much on minions. It's interesting to see that. And in the other games I do that a bit better. If you enjoy this content, then please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. And now, let's go take a look at some Tempo Mage gameplay. I don't think I dare to keep Alunet because the rest of my hand is not very strong. If I had Arcanologist there or something, I would have kept the Alunet. But I just felt like I don't have Arcanologist, I don't have any guaranteed early game. I can't afford to do Alunet. That's how I felt. But let's see. Here we go with the Arcanologist. This is how we roll.
No more take candles.
Ooh, and we find a Tempo Mage. That's beautiful.
We have many secrets.
A couple of counter spells, so I'm jamming a counter spell there, even though I know he can coin his way out of this first one. But he can't get the coin call to arms. Equality, now that's strong. Good tempo play. He has multiple kept cards, so he can still have Call to Arms, which is why I'm going with another counter spell. Because he has multiple kept cards. I can't let him do Call to Arms here. He can have Stegodon next turn and then he wins the game, but hey, what can you do? You can't always win. I can top deck Cinderstorm. I top deck Cinderstorm. It's time to Cinderstorm. Now that's what I call Cinderstorm. I don't want him to weapon down the Apprentice. So we're going to freeze him. Alright. That's probably 4 to hit. No, you need 4 to miss. I mean, you don't want 4 to miss. That's what you want to calculate. Okay, we're on a board-based plan for now. Pinging away that one and hitting his face. We're going to burn him down from here, even if we lose the board. I hope. But I need multiple turns up before I can Pyroblast. But I can do Fireball. I can do Wounds. Does he have Tarim? What if he has exactly Tarim? We'll see if he has exactly Tarim or not. We're going face. Let's see about that Tarim. Because if he plays a smaller minion, he just dies from the explosive runes. He had exactly Tarim. That's good for him. But is it still fast enough? He still needs a way to heal. Let's see. Because they usually don't run... They usually don't run the... Oh, are you kidding me? Well, okay. That happened. Do I want a Frostbolt? I think I might keep a Frostbolt. Against Rogue. Because if it turns out to be something very aggressive. Well, this is the one matchup where that Life Drinker might actually be good. Ha! So here we go. Immediately finding... Take Life Drinker out of the deck. Immediately find a matchup where it might be useful. Oh well, oh well. Let's see. Start with the Archaeologist. He has the coin and he kept 3 cards. Never a fun sight. Yeah, I knew he would pound that into submission. Next turn he could play the Tug. I could play Explosive Runes to prevent the Tug. Or I can play like Amani. Amani Mirror Image is fine. Let's do this. This should be okay. You can play the Tug can become a 4/4. I can deal with that. Or do I have a way to go face with these? This is interesting. And yeah, Life Drinker would be good in this particular matchup. I didn't get any of these, I only got other decks when I played yesterday. Ha, funny how it works. Obviously that is confirmation bias. I remember that because I saw this, but... Okay, here I believe I need to go with the Fireball to the Star Creeper. And then I also trade there, which protects, affords a level of protection to this Mirror Image. And now I suddenly have a 5-attack minion here, and he doesn't have a board. Whether that's going to be enough is another thing. He also doesn't have a dagger equipped, so that's 2 mana. He still has the coin though. Coin for counter spell. Do you save a coin for counter spell or do you go for tempo?
The light protects me. The light protects me.
That's strong. Now hitting the mirror image away. Yeah, that was powerful. I think I need to check if I can find something useful from this. Let's give it a try. Flame Strike is probably going to be useful later. I believe so. We grab the Flame Strike. We play the Explosive Runes and we hit face. He's relatively likely to trade with this both. I guess he could also have an SI so he can protect the Divine Shields. And he can have that. Now he only needs to trade with one. Is that a problem? So Frostbolt, that's 6, that's 16 damage, but I would have to live very long to do that. I can probably afford to take a little bit of damage here, so I'll ping there. And I set up the runes. He's unlikely to have a second Fungalmancer to make these 5/5s, so that they would survive the Flame Strike. So I can take this, then I get to Flame Strike his board, and I can Frostbolt him in the face on the same turn. What if he has a big Edwin here? That would be scary stuff. Still holding on to the coin too. Holding on to so many cards. Tempo Mage, not the greatest top deck right now. But this is the plan for now. I don't think I can survive until Pyroblast though. That might be a problem. Because here I would have just enough damage, but I would need 3 turns to deal it. So he has a fan, right? Yep. That's what this looked like. At least we get rid of the Leroy. I guess it's fine. So it's Mana Worm. It's the Mage. It's Frostbolt on the Leroy. Ping to the face. Is 13 health going to carry me another 2 turns? And can I deal 1 damage to face? Other than to ping? I would need 1 damage to face. And I would need to survive. Okay, now I need to survive the next turn. If I survive the next turn, I win. And Ice Barrier is by far the best thing I can do to survive another turn. And then I kill him with the Pyroblast. That's the plan anyway. He could have Blink Fox into counterspell. I don't think he needs 21. That's 5 on board. I don't think he has enough damage.
This guy's toast.
So yeah, that plan worked out quite nicely. That plan worked out quite nicely indeed. That's an aggro deck. That's really an aggro deck. I use every resource I have and I win the game. Nice. I might even keep this entire setup here. Let's see, I'm assuming Quest Rogue. Sharpen the Mirror Rogue's been a lot of fun this expansion. I haven't actually played it in the Witchwood yet. Is it the same rogue? Did I just... No, it's a different rogue. For some reason people just... Oh, that's too many secrets. Now this is getting bad when I draw so many secrets. He kept another card too. I think I need to go in the Arcanologist. He will kill it with the dagger and the squire, but I think I need this. I really think I need this. Not quite happy about coining that, but just leaving the board for a tempo deck is really scary. Now I can kill that minion. Next turn I can go in with the Tempo Mage and a secret. That is a really good answer though. A really good one. It can even take a value trade on the Tempo Mage. That's too many secrets.
We have many secrets.
I need to play the runes because I need to stop him from playing more minions. He can just hit my face and take a value trade with the tag if he likes. He might have some spell to kill this. He might have a charger, he might have SI7. Well, SI7 doesn't quite kill it now, does it? So spells are available to you. If he goes face with the dagger and value trades with the tag, I think I'm going to missiles. He might also just go all face and force me to trade. I think that's actually pretty strong. Just go face with the 5-5. Don't trade. Don't trade. I don't think he needed to trade. Well, we're going to see how the missiles turn out. Please kill the tag. The missiles kill everything. That's beautiful. That means we can set up another runes. So we can prevent further board development. That's the goal here at least. Well, he top decked a 1-drop. That was solid. Now he actually does get to develop the board again. That's an SI7.
This guy's toast.
Okay. I can obviously frostbolt the SI7 if I like. And develop counter spell. Sandwiching, I think Odrogue is really bad. I think Odrogue is the premium aggro deck right now. I think it's much better than, so for example, Face Hunter. So if you're looking for a very pure aggro deck, I think Odrogue is at the top of the food chain right now. I probably have to kill that, right? I probably do. And then I can develop a counter spell. I don't want to Cinderstorm face for 5. I don't have a plan how to proceed from that. I think I need to kill his minions for now. So this prevents Cold Blood. Yeah, I got the Cold Blood out. That was solid. That's really solid. Well, he can obviously have like Edwin. So do I hold on to the Spellbreaker? Because he might be holding on to something like Vilespine. And I think I'm Cinderstorming here. That should kill the minion. And I get to set up another counter spell. I still need to top deck something. He's also waiting to top deck something, it seems. Well, let's see what I can find from the glyph, right? I was kind of hoping for Pyroblast, because that would enable me to set up lethal. He's waiting with all these cards, which makes me think he has stuff like Wildspine Slayer in the hand. And this is always going to be polymorph, right? Dragon's Fury is unlikely to do much. I think that's that, and then we fireball him in the face. Let's try to set it up so that I could kill him with the right draws. Okay, I could polymorph this. And with Cinderstorm draw, I think I do. I mean, what could he possibly hold in his hand? He could hold stuff like Leroy, which I can't do anything about, actually, soon. So that would be problematic. But I think this is still the line. We polymorph with Cinderstorm, Whipping Face. And now we have lethal with Frostbolt, we have lethal with Fireball. We even have lethal with Arcane Missiles if he doesn't play anything. Alright. We're going to give the Amani Berserker Tempo Mage couple a try. I'm going to find a secret by turn 3. I need to.
We have turned our curse into our strength.
More even paladins. It's always even paladin. That's all I face when I face Paladins nowadays. I think I need to coin the Amani. APX Void tweeted that he had 52% win rate against Paladin, saying it's not that bad. That 52% doesn't make me extremely confident. But who knows? Okay, Direwolf. More jailers. He's going to have so many things. That counterspell top deck, that was awesome. We'll play that. I guess I will trade there. So now he can't get the Call to Arms off, because this card has to be Call to Arms, right? It was a Direwolf. Didn't see that coming. So now he knows I have the counter spell. He has 1 million recruits, so I need a Cinderstorm. If I ping, I fight for the board. But I don't really fight for the board. So what I need to do is Arcane Intellect and look for the Cinderstorm. Then I need to trade away the Direwolf Alpha. Because now if he doesn't happen to have the Stegodon, and he just fills the board, I have a chance to find the Cinderstorm. I of course didn't find it now, but I had a chance to find it, which was the only realistic way to start contesting this. I don't mind some Arcane Missiles though. They kind of help. Let's Missiles down. Hopefully I get 3 of these. But I do. I can also drop the Arcanologist. And I can ping 1 more. But he can still play 2 more. 1 more from hand, 1 more from Hero Power and Stegodon. So that's still a very powerful board. Next turn I could try to look for the Cinderstorm with... Or can I have Secret Mage play Arcane Explosion for Paladin? Yes, but that's only viable if there's a ton of Paladin on the ladder. There currently is not enough Paladin to make that viable. It's not a card you can play in the current meta. If there's a lot of Paladin, then yes, you can play Arcane Explosion. But right now there isn't enough, because it doesn't do anything in any other matchup. So I think I'll have to Cinderstorm this to play around stuff like Tarim. Then I need to set up another counter spell, because he was willing to throw a Consecration to get rid of the previous counter spell. I take that to mean that he has Call to Arms in hand that he wants to play. And I don't want to let him play that now. He still gets to... Okay, so next turn he will get to play the Call to Arms. That is going to be tough. Can I move over to a face plan? I have 15 from hand. I need another 10. I don't think I really can. Playing Aluneth. He's going to play the Call to Arms. He's going to get a Knife Juggler. I think I need to hit here. I need to set up the explosive runes. And I want to ping that. But I want to Frostbolt his face to prevent him from using any weapons this turn. But now it's going to be the Call to Arms. He has spent a lot of spells making sure that his Call to Arms goes uninterrupted. No? Why not? 15, 17 damage. I'm going to have more than 1 turn. I'm going to get to the Pyroblast.
Interesting.
I'm going to be hitting face. I believe. I believe in face damage right now.
More. I must have more.
Right now I'm a believer in the face damage.
It's time for a little blood.
Okay, Boons deals another 4. He has an ooze, that's sweet. He still has to trade. He has to trade or he just dies. Apprentice. Apprentice and these costs 8 mana. I can't do Apprentice Fireballs and Cinderstorm. Can I get some Cinderstorm damage to face? Maybe double Fireball him next turn. Double Fireball ping next turn is lethal, unless he has healing. I need to ping this turn. It's the Apprentice, it's the Mana Worm, it's the Cinderstorm. It's the Glyph into Frostbolt, into Meteor. Glyph into Frostbolt, Glyph into Frostbolt, it's the Glyph into Frostbolt. It's Frostbolt to face. It's going to be Arcane Intellect, right? It's going to be Arcane Intellect. That's going to be fine. This should be game. He can't heal with any weapon. He can't get enough healing with Scale Hides, right? If he has 2 Scale Hides in hand, he could. But he's not going to, because they don't play Scale Hides anymore, because they all play this Amani Berserker. Draw last. It doesn't matter, because I knew everything I would do that turn, regardless of what I draw. So, as you can see, I mean, draw first is... it's like a guide. But if you already know everything you're going to do, regardless of what's going to happen, then it doesn't matter at what point you draw. Paladin... I'm tempted to keep the Arcane Missiles. I think I'll try. I already have an Arcanologist. And I get a Tempo Mage.
We have turned our curse into
It's an even Paladin, every single Paladin has been an even Paladin. Especially the OTK deck, it's really bad. A bit of a tough choice maybe between this and the Amani, but I guess because I had the Tempo Mage I went with this. If I didn't have Tempo Mage I would have went with the Amani. Interesting ooze usage there. I guess he's going to coin the Call to Arms next turn, which will suck. I'll trade away the ooze. So now, well, he always chose the coin, sees if it's counterspell. When he sees it's not, he's going to play this card, which is Call to Arms. No? Why would you do that? What did that accomplish? I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. I get to set up the Amani. I get to kill off the minion. Okay. We're cool. Alright. You want to take 5 damage to your face. I'm also cool with that. You might have a Consecration. I want to draw some more cards. These might not be the cards I seek. I think I'll trade here. He can also have a Knife Juggler. That would be really annoying. He can also have a weapon. I think I'm actually going to do it like this. This plays around Knife Juggler a little bit. This plays around Consecration. Doesn't play around... I could have also tried to play around True Silver Champion. Okay, this is a Valanir variant of the build. That's pretty annoying, I can't push through this. Not with the stuff I have. What do I need to be able to beat this? Now that's a question. Those 2 trees are pretty strong, turns out. I need to try to glyph into something good. It's too early to go face, I've only dealt 7 damage. That's a problem. Always grab the fireball from there, but it just isn't good enough. I could use it to try to control the board a little bit. Let's glyph again. Cinderstorm seems like a plan. I played that turn poorly. That was not the way it was supposed to go. I sent too much damage to face and too little to the minions. Needed to hold on to the Cinderstorm. Because now it will be very, very difficult to come back from this. Arcane missiles when there's a Berserker on the board. That's dangerous. Yeah, the Amani is really annoying here. There's more 1/1s coming. I have to get lucky with the Arcane missiles. None of them can hit the Amani. Okay, this works out. I will silence that fellow and ping away the taunt. Alright. This was the best chance I have. It's probably still there. If you use a deck tracker... Well, but deck tracker is sometimes confused too, so... You might not get valid information. Even from that. Oh dear, it's a Stegadon time. That's the Stegadon time. Health is not that bad though. He needs something more for those. So I want to draw some cards. And I draw the Pyro. Okay. Can I survive 2 turns? How do I deal 18 damage? Next turn I will play Fireball Frostbolt Ping to his face. Because Fireball Frostbolt Ping is 10 damage. So even if he has True Silver Champion this turn, he will still die to Fireball Frostbolt Ping from next turn. Which means this turn I can play... That's going to be 8 mana. This turn I can play Fireball on the Stegadon, and I can play a counter spell to potentially reduce the clock on me a little bit. Yes, that is my plan. We Fireball that and we play counter spell. He has only 3 on board. Next turn is Fireball Frostbolt Ping on his face, which kills him through 2 healing. And he doesn't have enough reach to kill me. So we play Fireball, we play Frostbolt. Do I even have to ping? No, he has no way to heal. I don't have to ping. So I can play the Explosive Runes instead. He has 6 on board, I'm at 16, he needs 10 more. He gets 9 more if he has Stegadon. If he has Tarim, he gets less. And that's not enough to kill me, and then I will Pyroblast him to death. That was a 3-turn lethal setup. Boom. I guess I can try with this. Fairly aggressive package with some refill. I was most concerned about the Arcane Intellect. I could have went for... tried to find an Arcanologist or something instead of that. But we'll try with this. He didn't have 1-drop, which is sweet. Archmage, so APX voice is 50% seems legit against Pallies. Well, it really depends. Those games have been going just all over the place. I could coin Cinderstorm. It might kill the Beetle or it might not.
Interesting.
Beetle hits here and it's a Defile board. If I play the Amani. I take my chances with the Defile. Let's see. Beetle, do you think put Lich King in the deck for mid-range games? No. You don't put expensive cards into an Alunet deck. If it's not an Alunet deck, then you can do more stuff. Coin AI. Really? I mean, I could have done that. But I wanted to do this. He can have a Hellfire.
Interesting.
We'll see about that.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Because my plan was to do this. Now this should kill the plated beetle. And I can push some face damage. Well, he could still have a defile too. Maybe this was another good plan. Maybe this was another good plan. I just figured he would play defile last turn if he had it. But apparently I didn't know how to read his hand properly. Fine. I did not know how to read his hand. Now we play the AI. And next turn we set up the counter spell to prevent Pact. That's an interesting card. How much do I care about that card? Is another question. So I really don't want him to be pacting anything. I mean, I could silence that so that its effect doesn't kill the apprentice. I will not get the board against the Dreadlord though. Fireball, hit face, deals 9, puts him to 11. I really want the counter spell. I think I'll go with this line. I think we'll try this. This one now dies to the Dreadlord's effect. Yeah, I think I played this one a bit poorly. Last game of the evening. Sometimes happens. I might just silence this fellow though. He's at 11. Do I have any real need to silence it? Then he just trades in the Spellbreaker. That's Glyph. Oh, that's interesting. Take off wonders. Are we seriously going to go with the deck? What other options do I have? Ah, let's go with the deck. It's fine. So it is a Cubelock. Or maybe it isn't. Who knows even. Let's cast from random spells. Pyroblast. Seems legit. That's a win.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.